Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We'll revised our lesson yesterday. Yesterday we studied the equation of parabola, and as I mentioned yesterday, we have two kind of parabola. It depends on the power. Where is the power? Is it above the bracket which contain x, or above a bracket contain what contains y? So if it is above bracket contain x, so please turn off your mics. So the parabola either open upward or open downwards. It depends on the sign of 4b, this part. If it's greater than 0 means it's positive. So the graph will be open upward like this. If it is less than 0, which means negative, so it will be open downward like this. Okay, if the power above the bracket which contain y, so the graph will be either open right or open left. It depends the sign of this part for b. If it is greater than 0 or positive, it will be open to the right. If it is negative, less than 0, that means negative, will be open to the left. Okay. Yesterday, we studied how to analyze the equation of parabola. What is the meaning of analyze? Means he will give you the equation, ask you to write the vertex, focus, the equation of directrix, and the equation of axis of symmetry. So let's draw just one of them to know what is the meaning of this word. So if I draw parabola like this, for example, yeah. So this is the axis of symmetry. This point is the vertex, and the focus will be here. So this point is the focus. And we have a line here parallel to x-axis and cut the axis of symmetry. So this line is the directrix. It is what the directrix. So this is the four things which I look for when when you are given a equation. He will ask you to analyze by writing these four things. So here is the first example. Write the vertex, focus, equation of directrix, the equation of axis of symmetry. So the first thing here, you must start by writing the vertex. The vertex first, which will be, we'll take the number with x, this is h, which will be, take it with a different sign. So it is negative, so it will be what? Positive. Then the number with y, so what is the number written here? If you notice there is no bracket, there is no number here, so it is 0. It is what? 0. Okay, so after that, I need you to find the value of b. What is the value of b? So this part represent 4b. So 4b equals -4. Solve this equation to find b. So b, by dividing both sides by 4, will be equals what? -1. Okay, so what after that? After that, you need to add b to either the x part or y part to the vertex. So which one? So always change the part here. Let's go back to the equation. So x has a power and y doesn't has a power. Okay, so always we change the part which doesn't have power. So go directly to the vertex. Okay, and focus on y part on the vertex, this one. So we'll work with this one, always change this one. Okay, how to change it? So if you add b, to this one, you will get the focus. So the focus will be, don't change this, so 5. So what is the value of b here? It's -1. So 0, -1 will be -1. So the focus will be 5 and -1. Okay. And if you subtract b from this part also, you will get the equation of the directrix. So remember, we work with this part. It is a y part. So the equation of the directrix will be y equals, so what is the value of b here, which is -1. So 0 minus 1 will be like this. 0 minus 1, which is equals what? Y equals what? 1. So this is the equation of the directrix. The last thing, the equation of axis of symmetry, this part, the constant part, which we will not change it. So it is on x part, so the equation of axis of symmetry, axis of symmetry will be x equals what? Equals 5. So I analyze the equation. So again, the first step, write the vertex by taking the number with x and y with different signs. So here there are. Then find the value of b. Go back again to the vertex. Decide what part we will work on with x part or with y part. It depends on the equation. Always we work with the part which has no power. So which here is what? Is y. So if you add the value of b, you get the focus. Subtract the value of b, you will get the equation of the directrix. So this is the directrix equation. If you take the part which we will not touch it from the beginning, which is 5 here, so this is what? X equals 5. This is the axis of symmetry. Let's move to another example. Also write the vertex focus, the equation of directrix, and the equation of the axis of symmetry. Let's start as we mentioned before. First step, write the vertex of the equation. So vertex So number with x, which is what? -1 with a different sign, it's 1. The number with y with different sign, which also is what? 7. Okay. Then here we will find the value of b. So 4b equals, where is 4b? This number. This is 4b. Equals what? 20. Solve this equation to find the value of b. So divided by 4. So b equals what? Equals 7. Let's go back here. So which part we will work with? The x part or y part? We'll go back again to the equation. So the bracket which doesn't have power is this part. Okay, so there is no power here. So we will work with the x part in the vertex here. So we will work with this one. Okay, so the focus equals, just add the value of b. So what is b? Just 5 to this part. So the focus will be what? 1 plus 5. It is what? 6. Drop this. So it is what? 7. So this is the focus. Now subtract b, so minus b here. So what is the value of b? So minus b here, subtract b. You will get the equation of the directrix. So directrix So here we work with x, not with y. So it will be x equals 1 minus 5. So x equals -4. So this is the equation of the directrix. The last part, the equation of axis of symmetry. So we work with this part always, that's right. So this is the part which I don't touch until now. So this is the axis of symmetry. So the axis of symmetry, it is in y. So y equals what? Y equals 7. So this is the analyze of the equation, how to find vertex, focus, equation of directrix, and the axis of symmetry equation. Okay, that's what we studied yesterday. Our lesson today is we will reverse it. I'll give you one of the two. I give you two characters and ask you to go back and form the equation. We start with what? We start with a vertex and directrix are given. So how can I go back and write the equation? Okay, so to write the equations, number one, you must find the value of h and k and b. This is the the four characters which I'm looking for. Okay, so how can I find them? Okay, so second step, you must always start with the vertex. Either it's given or not given. So the first thing here, I write the vertex. So the vertex here is what? Negative 3 and 1. This is the vertex. Okay, so from the vertex, I'll get h, which is negative 3, and k, which is what? 1. So I get h and k directly, so h and k. So what about b? So we'll go back again. The directrix here guide you. Directrix has two rules here. Tells you go to the x part of the vertex. Go directly to the x part of what? Of the vertex, which is what? This part. Yeah, go to this part. So, and remember, from here, let's go back. How I find the equation of the directrix by subtracting b from what? From this part, okay? So, we get the directrix by subtracting b, so minus b. It give you what? It give you the directrix here. So negative 3 minus b give me the directrix, the number of the directrix, which is what here? Which is negative 4. So this is equals negative what? Negative 4. Take negative 3 to the other side. So negative b equals negative 4 plus 3. So negative b equals negative 1. Divided both sides by or cancel negative here. So b equals what? 1. So I got the three characters here. This is b, this is k, and h. Now let's write the equations. As you know, the equation has two brackets. One of them has power and the other has no power. Okay, so what should I write here? X or y? So which one should I write? Okay, the directrix tells you. So let's go back again. What is the letters with the directrix here? X. So X, write X in the bracket which has no power. So no power. So the bracket has no power. Write the letter what? Write the letter X. So here is X. And this is what? This is minus K. And this is minus what? Minus H. Let's substitute. So Y minus, what is the value of k? It is what? 1. So 1 power 2 equals 4 multiplied by, what is the value of b here? It is negative 1. It's 1, so multiplied by 1, bracket, x minus h, which is what? Negative 3. So minus 3. Let's simplify. So y minus 1 power 2 equals 4. X minus and minus will be plus. So this is the required equation. Y minus 1 power 2 equals 4x plus 3. So again, the directrix here is very important. It tells you what part you will change in a vertex and tells you what is the letter you should write in the bracket without what? Without power. Decide what letter should write here, x or y here. This part, we take it from what? The vertex. Let's take another example. The vertex is 4 and 4, and directrix is what? Y and negative. Solution. So as I mentioned,
Yes.
vertex is 4 and 4. So we need to find, as I mentioned before, we need to find what? The value of h, the value of k, and the value of b. I look for these three parts. Okay, so the directrix here, the letter is y, so it guides you to the y part in the vertex, not x part. So y part. So we will work with this part, the y part. Okay, so here is the y part. So I get the directrix by subtracting b from this part. So what is the directrix here? It is what? 3. So 4 minus b equals what? 3. Let's solve this equation. Take 4 to the other side. So negative b equals 3 minus 4. Negative b equals negative 1. Cancel. So b equals what? Equals 1. So, and as you know, this is h and this is k from the vertex. So this is the value of n. So I know all of them now. So let's write the equation. So here is a bracket with power. Here is 4b and the other bracket without power. So what should I write here? X or y? And here is x or y. Let's go back to the directrix. Tells you what is the letter with directrix here? It is y. So write y in a bracket without power. Without what? Without power. Let's go. So here is what? Y. And here is what? Here is x. So here is minus h. Here is minus what? Minus k. And drop down the value of each one. So h is 4, k is 4. So it would be like this. X minus 4 power 2 equals 4 multiplied by 1, y minus 4. So the equation will be like this. X minus 4 raised to power 2 equals 4 by 1 is 4. Y minus what? Minus 4. So this is the equation of what? The equation of the parabola whose first vertex 4 and 4 and directrix is what? Is 3. Okay. So the second case we'll deal with is what we if the given are focus and directrix. Focus and what directrix? So there is no vertex here, no vertex. But the vertex is very important to solve what? To solve the equation. And it is not given. So as I mentioned, we must always starting by write the vertex. Okay, so if you don't know the vertex, write it also. So always I'll go from what? From the vertex. So the vertex here is H and K, which they are unknown. So H and K are not given. Okay, also the directrix, which is Y equals 4, as I mentioned before, tells you go to the Y part in the vertex. So where is the Y part? So we will work with this part. Okay. Okay, so do you remember if you add B, you will get what? As a focus. Which here is what? 2 and -1. Okay, so let's form this. So that means H equals what? 2. And K plus B will equals what? Equals negative what? -1. That give you what? This part. So let's write here. The first value I get here is H. H equals what? Equals 2. Okay. And if you subtract from this part minus B, you will get what? The directrix. Which is what? 3. Y equals what? Equals 3. That means this form equation. So K plus Y B equals, so K plus B equals -1. K plus B equals what? -1. And K minus B equals what? Equals 3. We got two equations. So just add them by adding. So K plus K is 2K. B minus B is 0, so they are cancelled. -1 plus 3 is 2. Solve the equation. So K equals what by dividing by 2? So K equals what? 1. So I got the second character, which is K. So what about B? So we will go back to one of these two equations and substitute by the value of K in equation 1 or equation 2. It's up to you. So, but K equals 1 in equation 2, equation 1 for example. So it will be like this: 1 plus B equals -1. Take this to the other side. So B equals -1, -1. So the value of B will be equals negative what? -2. Now I got the third character, which is the value of B. Now let's write the equation. The equation will be like this. Bracket with power for B, bracket without power. So what should I write here, X or Y? The directrix tells you. The directrix, the letter with the directrix is what? Is Y. So go write this in the bracket without power. So here is what? Here is Y. Here is X. This is minus H. And this is minus what? Minus K. Let's substitute by the value. So X minus H, which is what? X here is what? H is 2. So minus 2 raised to power 2 equals 4 multiplied by b, which is negative 2, so multiplied by negative 2, and y minus k, which is what? 1. Simplify, so x minus 2 power 2, 5 by negative 2, it's negative 8, y minus 1. This is the equation of the parabola. For the second example, so let's work with the same. Like the previous one, the focus is 5 and 2. Directrix is what? Negative 1. The x equals negative 1. So here's for change the letter. It is x, not what? Not y. Okay. So start with the vertex. H and K. So we work with what? With x part and the vertex. This is x part. So if you add here B, you will get the focus.
مستر
Yeah.
احنا من فين جبنا البي؟
What?
من وين جات البي؟
We're looking for the value of B. We don't know it until now. Okay?
اوكي اوكي
Okay, so the focus here is what? It is 5 and 2. Let's compare between these two parts. So K will equals what? 2. And H
2
plus K
5
plus P equals 5. Please silent, please. So K equals 2. This is the first part which I wanted to know. So this is the value. Okay, let's complete. Go back and complete here. If you subtract B from this part, you will get what? You will get the directrix. The directrix here is what? X equals negative 1. So x equals negative 1. So H plus B will equals what? 5. This is the equation. So B, H plus B equals what? 5. And H minus B equals what? Negative 1. This is the first equation. This is the second equation. Let's solve them by adding like we did in the previous one. Add them. Please mute the mic, guys. Mute the mic. So H and H, to H. B minus B is 0. 5 minus 1 is 4. Divide both sides by what? By 2. So H equals what? Equals 2. This is the second character I'm looking for. H, the value. The last character I wanted to find is B. What is the value of B? Just substitute by the value of H in one of the two equations. But H equals 2 in this equation, for example. So 2 plus B equals 5.
5
So here's my guys equals 5 minus 2, which is what? 3. Now I get the three characters. So the required equation will be like this. Bracket with power equals 4b, bracket without power. So this here, what should I write here, x or y? The directrix tells you. The letters with the directrix is x. So you should write this with a bracket without power. So x goes directly to this power, this place, so x. And here is y, minus k, minus h. Substitute. So y minus, what is the value of k? It's 2 power 2 equals 4 multiplied by b, which is a 3 here, and x minus h, which is 2 also. Simplify. Y minus 2 power 2 equals 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. X minus what? Minus 2. So this is the required what? The required equation. Okay, guys, any one of you has a question?
No.
Okay,
Sir.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering, could you like send us the recording of the video, like if we want to watch it again, or
Yeah. I send it. So let's go directly. If you have no question, I'll go direct to the last example. Case 3, we are given here the focus and what's the vertex. The focus and what? The vertex. Okay. So again, here is the vertex. We always work with the vertex. We are given the vertex here, which is what? Negative 9 over 16. And 1. And also, we are given the focus. So write it above it directly. So negative 9 over 16. And what? And 3. So if you compare between this, you will find one of the parts, the two parts are constants, the x part or y part. So what is part? This part is constant. It is not changed. That's right. So this is the value of what? This is the value of, so the unchanged part, this is the value of what? This is the value of x. So h equals what? Negative 9 over 60. So what about this part? Do you remember how can I get the focus? By adding b. So let's form equation by these two. So 1 plus b equals what? Equals 3. So let's take this to the other side. So b will be what? 2. So this is the value of what? So this is the value of b. Okay, so also do you remember? Yeah, this is the value of, so this is k. Plus b equals, so and this is k, guys. So k equals what? Equals 1. This is the third part. So the equation will be bracket without power, bracket, sorry, therefore b. In the previous, the directrix tells you what letters should write in the bracket without power here. So here, what letter should I write here? The constant, the unchangeable part here between the vertex and the focus, it goes to the bracket without what? With power. So the bracket with power always constant here. So what part here not changed? It is the x part. So x what? X part. So this is x. And the change always happen to what? to the y. Here in this example happened with what? With y part. So y here. So hence minus h minus k. Let's substitute. So x minus the value of h, which is negative 9/16 power 2 equals 4 multiplied by 2 y minus k, which is 1. Let's simplify this. So x plus 9/16 power 2 equals 8 y minus 1. And this is the required equation. Okay, guys, I'm finished. But wait a minute, I stop the recording here.